My name is Father Chase Hilgenbrinck, chaplain at the St. John's Catholic Newman Center on the campus of the University of Illinois. Our world is learning a lesson right now that we desperately needed. A lesson that we should have learned when it came out of Jesus' mouth. It's the lesson that we are not ultimately in control of our world. We don't have the power to do whatever we want. And that is the modern anthem. That we have the power, we can do whatever we want. Well, I think we're all learning right now that we don't have that power. And Jesus teaches a different power. It's an inner strength. It's a heroic way of life called virtue. It is yielding to the fact that we need a Savior. And that is the only control that we have in our life, is accepting Him, surrendering to Him, and allowing Him to live within us. That's why Paul says, when I'm weak, and when he was talking about weakness, he was saying weakness in the world. When I'm weak facing the obstacles in my life, it is then that I am truly strong, because I finally recognize that I'm not powerful over the world, and my only strength is Christ living within me. And that's why we say that virtue equals strength. If we were to think of one virtue then, that would be the virtue of inner strength par excellence, it would be that virtue of courage. Courage or fortitude is that inner strength that allows us to persevere and press on towards our goal despite the obstacles that present themselves. It's that virtue of those who know they're on a mission and the mission never ends. It's the Christian mission. It's the mission of Catholic schools. It's the mission of Jesus Christ and the Catholic Church. It's the mission of every disciple of Jesus Christ that says, I know that there will be obstacles in the world. I know that I will prove powerless to some things that are around me, but I will still press on because the game is not over. I'm still here and I'm still on mission for Jesus. And even though there's a pandemic, even though I may lose my job, even though I may be sick, my mission isn't over. I will find a way. Someone who may be our patroness during these unprecedented times, maybe I'll call her the patroness of courage, is that Canaanite woman who presents herself in Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 through 28. Remember, this was the woman who came and sat at Jesus' feet so that Jesus in this very time also could show himself a true coach, a true teacher. She comes to Jesus' feet and she begs for her daughter who has a demon. And she begs for Jesus to cast him out. And she cries out to him, listen to this, a pagan woman who comes to Jesus and she cries out, Son of David, which is a title given to Jesus that only the Jews knew that they could call him the Messiah. The Messiah had to come from the line of David. So to have a pagan woman calling him the Son of David, Jesus immediately knows he has someone with great faith. Not only that, he knows that he needs to make an example of her so that all of those around can see her faith on display. And so she comes to Jesus. She asks Jesus to save her daughter. And Jesus is silent. Why would he do that? It's almost like he's indifferent. He was silent. He didn't respond to her. The only explanation of this is that Jesus knows she has more in the tank. Like a good coach, he doesn't just grant her wish right away. He doesn't just give her rest because she did a good job and she did the right thing. He knows she has more and he wants to draw it out. And so he's silent and he knows that because of what she said, Son of David, that she has a great faith and she will come back again. And so she does come back at him and she says, Lord, have mercy on me. To which Jesus knows, this is music to Jesus' words. He knows that she is now putting on a show for all of those around her. She has no shame. She's coming there out of great humility and showing her faith, her courage, that she won't quit. So Jesus responds to her something unthinkable. He challenges her further. He says, don't you know that I haven't come for you? You represent the pagan race, but I've come for the house of David, the lost sheep. To which the woman one-ups Jesus once again. You can imagine the twinkle in his eye when this pagan woman is showing greater faith than all of the people in Israel. And she says to him, even if I was a dog sitting underneath your table, I would eat the crumbs that fell from your plate. I know who you are. To which Jesus finally relents and says, oh woman, great is your faith. He puts her on display so everyone could see her courage, her perseverance, the way that she was on mission, her great faith, which Israel was lacking, even maybe some of his apostles were lacking. This woman is a woman who says, I have come too far to stop here. She doesn't stop, even when she may think that God himself is not answering her. Isn't that the case of the world right now, especially for good Christians and good Catholics? Sometimes our youth are thinking, God is not hearing my prayers. I would tell them, God is pressing you on further. It's a great compliment when Jesus pushes us and he asks us for more. He wants us to come back. He knows we have more in the tank. And those who have courage have more to give. We need to foster this great virtue of courage that says, I'm on mission and I never give up. Remember that courage is that virtue of inner strength par excellence. We will never quit. Virtue equals strength.